All right, Shalom Aleichem, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for joining for the share. This particular share has been sponsored by Elaine J. as a Ilui Neshama for her father, Mordechai ben Yitzchak. Full disclosure, Elaine J. is my cousin, and Mordechai ben Yitzchak was my uncle Morty. It's a ben Yitzchak. That's me, Yitzchak. I'm named after my grandfather. And it's providential that this year is discussing Tefillah because he was the consummate Baal Tefillah, and certainly just by his ability to arouse the Olam, got people to daven, even if you didn't know what you were talking about. All right, and once again, this year should be a chus for all the people that need Yeshuas and Refuas and need to come home and need to stay safe. Gewaltig. Okay, so we have been doing a series about davening. We did tzedakah. Today, and then of course we're doing Birchas HaShachar, which we have a very interesting one today, as sort of providential. I know everything in the world is providential. Today we're going to deal with one simple topic, and that is this: Did you ever find yourself taking 3 steps backwards and saying, "Oh, I think I must have just finished Shmona Esrei." Yeah, well, me too. And I'm the guy that wrote the Feigenbaum Siddur. It's clearly a struggle to have kavanah, especially if you've been davening for a long time and you know the words and you're saying the same brachas time and again. So every once in a while, a bracha sticks out. Rifoenu, everybody sort of wakes up for Rifoenu, unfortunately, certainly in today's day and age. But so many other things, it's really hard to stick with kavanah. It's really hard to pay attention. It's really hard to focus all the time. And the shaila is, why is that, and what can we do for it? The Satmar Rebbe, Rabbi Feigenbaum, has a famous quip, right? We say Lam Natseach, very popular in Perek these days, unfortunately, right? We say the non-Jews, they use horses and chariots. But us, B'Shem Hashem Elokeinu, that's can we mention the name Hashem. Of course, the context is going to war and winning battles. They win battles with chariots and horses. We win battles because we davened and HaKadosh Baruch Hu was on our side. Doesn't mean we don't do our shtadlus, but in the last analysis, what carries the day? B'Shem Hashem Elokeinu Naskir. Said the Yoel Alder Chatzachos. He said, the non-Jews, when they want to take a trip, in chariots in order to travel. If we want to take a trip, Hashem Elokeinu Nazkir. We just mentioned the name of Hashem, start davening, and boom! All of a sudden, we're all over the place. So it is really hard to focus. And we're going to go through why it's hard to focus on davening. It's hard to pay attention. In this particular shir, we're going to focus on reason number 1, which I think is the most crucial, the most central as to why some people find it hard to daven. And you'll notice some people don't. You look around the shul, there's guys there, they're shuckling away, they're davening away, and you're like, you wish it would be over. There's ladies davening, they're sitting placid in their face, and they're bawling their eyes out, right? And you're just thinking about everything else, but, right? So, why does that happen? Reason number 1 is we have to understand davening is a midah. It's a character trait. Meaning, for example, it's great to do chesed. Bikur cholim. Bikur cholim is a huge mitzvah. Bikur cholim. Everybody should do bikur cholim. We all try to do bikur cholim. Go to hospitals. If the people in the hospital, some people find it easy as pie to do that. They enjoy it. They're good at making small talk. They're not shy with people. They don't mind meeting new people, right? They're just good at it. They just walk in and they'll, "Hello, how you doing?" And then they're shtickle men, and they go to the nurses. What's the prognosis? They look and they talk and they schmooze. And they're good at it. And some people find it very painful. They're socially awkward. Hospitals make them squeamish. They can't deal with the smell, and just all the beeping things that make them nervous. They're terrified. They don't know what to say. What's the right thing to say? They put their foot in their mouth. They mumble. They stumble over their words. And Bikur Cholim is just a huge. It's a huge burden, which they will do if they really have to. But there's so many things they'd rather do. On the other hand, they can organize a parliament meeting, they can organize a brunch, they can organize some kind of fundraising thing, without even thinking twice. They're making 5 phone calls. They got to think. They got the flowers coming from here. They got the text. They figured out. They called a lawyer, and they got text receipts worked out. They got a phone list, and they got people making phone calls, and they're doing. They got that. They can do without thinking twice. Whereas other people, they don't know where to start. They're making 5 different lists. They're making phone calls. They don't know what to do first and what to do second. And they're having heart palpitations. How am I going to do this? I don't know what to do. And other people, it's a small thing. We're just making a dinner for 500 people. That's not a big deal. I've made, events for 2,000. Oh, a dinner for 500 people? Yeah, no problem. They come a couple phone calls, and phones. They got 2 phones ringing at the same time, and they're cool as a cucumber. It's a God-given. Some people are good at making small talk. Some people are not. Some people are naturally organized. Some people are not, right? Everybody has different things that they're good at, and some that are easy for them. Let's rephrase that. And then people have things that are hard for them. Same thing with davening. It's a God-given nature. Some people are naturally good at it. It flows. The words roll off their lips. They just talk. They're comfortable. They just do it. And some people just don't consider the words that they can't. Their brain is full of all sorts of other stuff. It's all full of, I'm supposed to be paying attention and I'm not. So if you're thinking about it, you're supposed to be paying attention, then obviously you're not. You're freaking out. Did I say the bracha? Did I say with a kavanah? Did I say kalakana? Did I say I'm melech and kodesh? Am I supposed to say ma'aseh v'ruach? Am I saying word at all? And they can't talk. It's a God-given. And I'll give you a great example. My 2 boys, who are not boys anymore, they have teenage children already. But when they were teenagers, so my 2 oldest boys, who are less than a year apart, right, but were dramatically different people. The oldest one was a natural davener, natural laner, a natural davener. He enjoyed davening. He got shul early. He said goodness, and he davened, right? He davened, he davened. His brother, who was less than a year younger than him, hated davening. It was a painful experience. Hated davening. Couldn't daven. Couldn't get the words out good. Didn't always say, just was boring. He's sitting there. Just get me out of here. Just get me out of here. Same family. Exact same schooling. Less than a year. 1 grade apart. Dramatically different. What did I do about that? Well, so the one who hated davening, so I made a deal with him, right? Shabbos morning, Shabbos morning, spent 2.5 hours in shul. He could jump off a roof, But he's 15, 16 years old. He got to go to shul, man. So I made a deal with him. I'm not going to know when you get to, I don't care. I'm going to shul on time. I get to shul on time. You know how to get there yourself, okay? I want you to get to shul in time so we can walk home together. That's all I want. Stand in the back, to do whatever you want. When we're finished davening, I want to see you in the back of the shul and we walk home together. Of course, his older brother said, "No, you gotta go daven. I said, you know what, bud? I said, I'll die. You can take over. Until then, I'm his father. Let it go. Okay, he'll be fine. Okay, just leave it with me. All right? That was my deal. But still, okay, Shabbos, he went to shul, right? Shivas, and he had to Shabbos, right? But it's summer's Myriv. So stupid Myriv. Tell you what I did. This was a long time ago, before internet and computers, right? Way long time ago. So long ago that we lived in Toronto at the time, and Toronto has a baseball team, and they're called the Toronto Blue Jays. I think they're still there. I don't know, but I assume. I don't know how they're doing now, but at the time, there was a time when, believe it or not, Nisim, clearly Chutz Miderech HaTeva, they won 2 World Series in a row. That is just like, that's a bigger nation than Kriyas Yamsuf, right? You have to say that. My son, who hated davening, loved baseball. He had the keys and all the players and everyone. He could get in the whole Torah. He had the whole thing down. His older brother, right? Two brothers. Can you imagine? Kavanah. So he was into baseball, and so Toronto Blue Jays were playing the World Series, right? And I went over to him. I said, "Would you like to watch the World Series?" Now, we didn't have a television because I'm from the old school who figured that I would actually like to parent my children myself. I didn't view children as people who get in the way and therefore buy electronic gizmos so they can parent for me and keep them out of my hair so I can do what I'd rather do. I think if the good Lord gave me children, I guess I'm supposed to parent them and not, just buy them off with electronic junk that will fill their head with garbage so they don't get in the way of my life. That was a sarcastic aside. I apologize. Okay. But so we didn't have a television. I said, how am I going to do that? I said, you know what? I'll rent a television for a week. You could rent televisions back then. It's a long time ago, okay? I'll rent a television for a week and you can watch the World Series. I said, only on one condition. He goes, what? I said, 5 minutes to 10, you stop, you get on your bike and you drive down to the shul, the boat shul, the shibul there, and you catch 10 o'clock Myra. I'll never forget what he said. He said, for one crummy Myriv, you would rent a television and let me watch the World Series? I said, yeah. For what you call one Myriv, that's what Myriv is to me. It's worth it. I'll rent the television, let you watch the World Series. I want just for a Myriv. His older brother had apoplexy. I don't think he almost stopped eating in our house, right? Somebody, I said, Mike, I'm to relax. Just take your time. Right? It'll all be okay. Right? And he did it. He was watching a game. He had his hat in his hand. He's watching. My guess is he probably doesn't better if they were losing. I have no idea. I did not ask him, but how well he davened, I have no idea. But 5 minutes dead, ran out, jumped on his leg, came back 15 minutes later, and kaboom. And he watched. Because I had to show him that it was important. Because he did not have an intuitive sense. It bothered him. He didn't get it. Didn't understand it. It was hard for him. It didn't do. So I had to some way explain to him that even if you don't understand, that's how important it is. It's worth a whole for what I went through. Of course, just a total aside end of parenting story. Obviously, so of course, once he got a little older and he froomed out, how did you let me do that? You should have forced me to daven. Why'd you let me do that? I said, you're an idiot. I would have forced you to daven. You won't be froom today. You're a lunatic. Wait till you have teenagers if you don't understand it. And Taka now, he had teenagers of his own. He's a crackerjack 7th grade Rabbi because of what he went through. So Baruch Hashem, went through the whole process of how a parenting of teenagers goes. Baruch Hashem. But that's pshat. It's a midah. If you're struggling with your davening, or someone who's struggling with your davening, a friend is struggling with your davening, a neighbor struggles with davening, other people people they say Tillim, and I say a parakah Tillim, and okay, I said it. This just seems like I'm not enjoying this. Okay, so I like medicine. Okay, I'll say another. How many am I done? Right, I promised I'd say for 15 minutes. 15 minutes up. Well, it's 13 and a half. Well, that's close enough. Take a deep breath, make a cup of coffee, and I'm Yitzchak. It's a God-given talent. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't compare yourself to the other person. If it comes easy, that's Baruch Hashem, it's a great gift. Enjoy it. And then Taka, put your heart and soul into davening. It's a gift. Obviously, that's what you're supposed to be putting a lot of energy into. If it's a struggle for you, so it's a struggle. So then do all the tips that we mentioned for us. So daven a little less, say a little less, but say with Kavanah focus, we'll give more tips on how to get your davening better, in the next year or 2 or 3 as we reintroduce other reasons why davening may be difficult for people, right? But the first yesod you need to know it for yourself. You need to know it for your families. You need to know it for your friends. Everyone's saying Tillim now. There's Tillim groups and there's Sifos, and people are getting together and they're saying Tillim after davening, and you look around and there's people that are into it, and if you're not, there's nothing the matter with you. You're not a bad person. So it's for the same reason that there's people running around hospitals and delivering packages and visiting cancer patients and making phone calls, and other people can't. I can't make a cold phone call. I can't visit someone I don't know. That's so awkward. It's a midah. Everybody is different. It's different at it. A huge important so to know. Next week, now let's go back and we must do a gewaltig part of Birchas HaShachar. Next week, we'll discuss more reasons why davening might be hard. Back to Birchas HaShachar. Guess what bracha we're up to, everybody? Matir Asurim. How topical. Hey, that's great. You know why it's great? Because you need to know Pshat the bracha. What did you think Matir Asurim meant, a year ago? Was it relevant? Did you know any Asurim? Okay, I grew up in 50s, 60s, Soviet Jewry. Matir Asurim, the refuseniks. Today, most people don't even know what the word refusnik means. In the old days, Matir Asurim, Spanish Inquisition, Matir Asurim. Well, how many Matir Asurim are there? Yeah, I know my neighbor. He got jail for fraud. Matir Asurim. Maybe not. Maybe he should stay in jail. Right? What's Matir Asurim? Now, Matir Asurim. Thanks to Hamas. Right, we can have Kavanah in that bracha again. What did the bracha mean before a Simchas Torah and we had people taken hostage? Listen to Pshat. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam. We thank you, Hashem. Matir Asurim. You free those that are imprisoned. The Meforshim offer 3 explanations of what we are referring to. Besides, of course, right, people that are literally in a prison. 1, we're imprisoned in our bodies while sleeping. We have no control over our actions. We have no control over our thoughts. Waking up is Matir Asurim. You can move, you can think, you can move your hands and fingers and toes, you can turn your alarm off, you can get out of bed and tie your shoes. You couldn't do that while you were sleeping. You were sleeping. You had no control. Matir Asurim. The very fact that you can move around. You don't have to be imprisoned in Chas v'Shalom in a tunnel in a hospital in Gaza. When we're sleeping, we are bound and not in control of things. And if our Kadosh Baruch Hu wouldn't wake us up, which we take for granted, we couldn't do anything. The point of Birchas HaShachar really is to make us not take things for granted, like we did with Malbish Harumim, right? Malbish Harumim, Baruch Hashem, you have clothes. Yeah, duh, right? Same thing. 1 Matir Asurim, to walk around. I can walk around. Don't take that for granted. Not everybody can walk around. Not everybody wakes up from their sleep. 2, obviously, imprisoned in physical prisons. But by the way, the first most common shot, funny enough, is this why this is number 1. Really, Matir Asurim is referring to waking us up from sleep. Then, of course, Fashtesach, yes, people that are in prison. And to a certain extent, almost more importantly, Matir Asurim, imprisoned in the prisons we create for ourselves by our own insecurities. We imprison ourselves. Listen to a Peledic Vort. Yosef gets out of prison. You know when he got out of prison? Here's a little Snapple fact you can throw out if there's a conversation that's going boring and you want to start some interesting little tidbit of info. Yosef got out of prison on Rosh Hashanah. Oh, that's cute, Rosh Hashanah. I got it. It's not cute, okay? Say the Meforshim, but Kadosh Baruch Hu could have arranged him to get out of prison any day of 365 days a year. Why did Kadosh Baruch Hu arrange it? Boom, on Rosh Hashanah, all right? Rosh Hashanah, right? Because that's part of our problem. We create prisons for ourselves. What's the point of Rosh Hashanah? I'm going to do tshuva. Nah, I'm doing tshuva for the same dumb stuff I did last. I'm a lost cause. There's no point. Same thing, same year. I've been in the same year. Rabbi Feigenbaum, I'm telling you, for the last couple of years, I'm still doing the same dumb stuff. You know what I would tell them? Well, you know what? Rabbi Feigenbaum is almost 74 years old, and he's still struggling with the same dumb stuff. Okay? We create prisons for ourselves, and we give up on ourselves. Power of Yosef getting out of prison in Rosh Hashanah. And Rosh Hashanah is a new opportunity. Every day is a new opportunity. Because Baruch Hu, you're Matir Asurim. Give us the ability to break out of our own insecurities. And you give us the ability to become new people. It's a new day. It's a fresh day. It's a new start. Matir Asurim. Baruch Hashem helps those get out of prisons in Gaza. We got out of the prison of sleep and we can walk around. And he can help you get out of the prison of your own mindsets, of your own personal insecurities, of your own, it's not me, I'll never be any better, right? He can help you get out of that prison also. Let's do one more. Baruch atah Hashem, Elokeinu melech haolam, Zokeif Kafufim. Now, Zokeif, Kafufim are those that are kafuf, they're bent over. And Zokeif, he helps you stand up, right? To stand up, right? Right? Who gives, right? You give those who are bent over the ability to stand up straight. What does it mean, bent over? Well, obviously, bent over is physically bent over. But say the Meforshim, but I'm not physically bent over. I'm pretty healthy. I'm strong. But all of us have hardships. All of us have difficulties. All of us have things that burden us down. Big things, little things, parnasa and health and children and grandchildren and what's going on in the world and anti-Semitism and the struggles. It's just hard to do. So, Kadosh Baruch Hu is okay, kafufim. Kadosh Baruch Hu, thank you. You give us the ability to deal with our struggles and stand up straight. Kadosh Baruch Hu never gives you a struggle you can't handle. He doesn't give you a test that you can't handle. Elokim nisas Avram. Kadosh Baruch Hu tested Avram. Why do you have to test him? Kadosh Baruch Hu knows Avram very well. He's not like a teacher who doesn't know if the kid knows the material or not, so you give a test. Kadosh Baruch Hu knows Avram. He knows he's the Yerushalayim, but if he's not a Yerushalayim, he gives him a test so that he can bring his potential out into the practice, so that he personally can do the right thing to be deserving of reward, and therefore he never gives somebody a test where you're doomed to failure, because there's no point doing that. So he gives you tests that you theoretically could pass if you put your mind to it. That's what we need to remember. He's Zokev Kafufim, right? And as we answer, but I can't, I've tried, I keep on falling back down. Yep, but Sheva Yipol Tzadik V'Kam, as all my students know. Pasuk says that Tzaddik falls down 7 times and gets back up. What do you mean the Tzaddik falls down 7 times and gets back up? What's he doing falling down? Tzaddikin is not the idea that he never sins. A tzaddik is someone who gets back up. What is the source of Hashem to give us tests we can't handle? Look at the Ramban on Akedas Yitzchak. His whole idea of the test is for Avram to bring it out into action. Look at it carefully. That's where we get the idea that there's no point in Kadosh Baruch Hu giving you a test that you can't handle. Then you'll just fail it. The purpose of the test is for you to bring your potential out into action. If Kadosh Baruch Hu knows that that's not going to happen anyways, so then he doesn't have to do that. He knows you're a Russia, right? But he gives you the test because he knows this is a great opportunity for you to bring the potential into action and thus be deserving of even greater reward. And he gives us the ability, and by saying that bracha, we're convincing ourselves that today's a new day and it's going to be a better day than it was before. And Mirz Hashem, everybody should be able to matir asurim, get out of their own preconceived ideas, right? And struggle with life does seem to be overwhelming, absolutely, but that's matir asurim and zokev kafufim. They go together. Because Rabbi gives the ability to deal with it, and he gets you out of your own imprisoned mindsets, and you can move up and forward no matter what a Kadosh Baruch Hu throws your way. Certainly, in the real practical terms, Kadosh Baruch Hu is matir asurim, and Amir Hashem, he will, in the last analysis, will be a Kadosh Baruch Hu will make sure that all the hostages who are physically asurim will be able to physically go home. It's a wonderful day. Everybody should have all those that need Yeshuos and Refuos. Everybody should see Yeshuos and Refuos, Bekarov, Mamish, as we say. A lot of haslach, and thank you all for joining Mamish.